And let me begin by thanking you all for attending our event today, especially our alumni. There is no greater satisfaction for a university than to see its alumni do so well. So thank you for joining us today. Thanks to our current and our future partners, our leaders from government and industry who are here today. Thank you. Thanks also to the very dedicated team of Hopkins faculty and staff who are here today. Thanks for all that you do. And finally, thanks to Kamala and Raj and Maureen and Steve for their generosity that allows us to build on what, as the video pointed out, over 130 odd researchers are already working and have been doing so for decades in India. So I'd like to do three things in my brief remarks. I'm standing between you and our keynote speaker, and believe me, my value add as the head bureaucrat here is somewhat limited. And so I'd like to do three things. First is to talk about our approach, the Hopkins approach, and how it differs from some of our peer US institutions. To talk about our areas of emphasis and to lay out a vision for success. Our approach, the Hopkins approach, has three salient characteristics. First, respectful, equal, and complementary partnerships with our Indian partners. We don't believe in parachuting in with answers when we don't even know what questions to ask. We partner with government agencies, with educational institutions, with private enterprise, and the nonprofit sector. The second is an emphasis on actual impact. We study and we teach like our peers, but we're not afraid to tackle the doing part. In fact, the motto of Johns Hopkins is bringing the benefits of discovery to the world. This demands that we do not stop at research or discovery, but go on to find ways to have real impact. This, of course, forces us to build partnerships with the government, private sector, and with nonprofit organizations. Third, we know that we have a lot to learn in India, and what we learn in India will help us back in the US and around the world. The talent and capabilities of our Indian partners are particularly valuable in this regard. Rather than talking vague generalities, why don't I give you an example that's relevant to today's topic. In UP, Hopkins is working with the State Directorate of Health and Family Welfare and Health Systems Development. They have jointly developed competency analysis, and that analysis is now being incorporated in the National Mission Karma Yogi framework, in the FRAC framework, which is frameworks of roles, activities, and competencies. And we are hoping that what we learned will help us back in the US, and what Mission Karma Yogi will achieve will, of course, have substantial impact in India. Let me now turn to our areas of emphasis. In picking these areas, we have evaluated our own and the stated priorities of India's leadership, the strength of current and future partnerships in India, and the potential impact of these activities. So as you would imagine, with a name like Johns Hopkins, the broad area of medicine and public health is, of course, one of the areas of emphasis. But within this, health system development, maternal and child health, and infectious diseases are particularly important areas of emphasis for us. The second area of emphasis is technology and data science, particularly where it intersects health, such as precision medicine and biomedical engineering. And finally, the third area of emphasis for us is energy and environment. All these areas of emphasis require more than one discipline to come together to have impact. Johns Hopkins' contribution to COVID-19 was our dashboard, which was quite visible all around the world. It may amuse you to know that it was not built by our public health people. The dashboard was built by a civil engineering group who were studying the impact of transportation systems on the movement of pathogens. and they ended up building the COVID-19 map. And what this emphasizes for us is that we need to bring all disciplines, and in our case, 7 different schools to bear on the projects we want to tackle in India, from engineering to public health to medicine, nursing, international studies, etc. And of course, our dashboard pales in comparison to the achievements of this country in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. And therefore, there's a lot for us to learn here as well. So finally, let me turn to our vision for success. We will be successful if we will have had a substantial impact through partnerships on research, education, and practice, not only in India, but in the world at large by what we have learned in India. So thank you for joining us as we continue on this journey, and thank you to the Guptas and the Klinskys, because by funding this umbrella institute that will support our researchers on the ground, we will be able to achieve this vision of success. So thank you all again. And with that, let me turn it back to the MC to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr.